The women in a married Florida police deputy's life kept dying. Imagine a trusted law enforcement officer, sworn to protect and serve, hiding a chilling secret, a trail of death and betrayal that would span decades. What if the very person who discovered a tragic murder was the one responsible for it? Today we unravel the haunting story of former Deputy John J. Greer, a man who evaded justice for nearly half a century. Stay tuned as we dive into the shocking details of a case that will leave you questioning the line between hero and villain in this crazy world we live in. This channel exists to remind us of what can go wrong in this crazy world. We created it not just to tell stories, but to shed light on the dark corners of human behavior. And sometimes, that darkness comes from those sworn to protect us. Today's story is about betrayal, heartbreak, and justice that arrived too late. It's about John J. Greer, a former Charlotte County deputy, who was revealed to be the suspect in the 1979 murder of Adele Marie Easterly, a 25-year-old store clerk. It was November 5, 1979, a little after 1:40 a.m., when on-duty deputy John J. Greer radioed in to report he had discovered a homicide. Greer claimed he found the lifeless body of Adele Easterly at the farm store located at Highway 17 and North Washington Loop Road in Punta Gorda, Florida. Adele had been brutally murdered, shot twice with a 12-gauge shotgun, once in the back and once in the head. The medical examiner later confirmed her tragic cause of death. The crime scene painted a grim picture. Blood and tragedy intertwined in a senseless act of violence. Law enforcement swarmed the area, interviewing friends, family, and co-workers. But no suspect emerged. Initially, there was no evidence or clear motive that pointed in any specific direction. As the days turned into weeks and months, Adele's murder became a haunting cold case. But as we now know, the truth was hiding in plain sight. Just 71 days before Adele's death, Greer had reported another tragedy. His wife, Jackie Greer, had allegedly shot herself in their home. Jackie's death, deemed a suicide at the time, left investigators uneasy. Something about Greer's story didn't sit right, but without evidence, they couldn't prove foul play. That unease lingered, especially when, just over 2 months later, Greer discovered Adele's body. On September 29, 1980, yet another woman in Greer's orbit was found dead. The woman, named Lynn Austin by police, was discovered in her Ford Mustang parked in a wooded area of Port Charlotte. Though her death was ruled a likely overdose due to the presence of empty pill bottles, her decomposed body left many questions unanswered. Her husband later reported that Greer had been following her and attempting to start an affair. These incidents pointed to a chilling pattern. As the years went by, Greer's name remained on the radar of law enforcement. Former colleagues noted his odd behavior and the coincidence of multiple deaths surrounding him. Adele's friend eventually came forward, telling detectives in 1986 that Adele had confided in her about an affair with a married deputy. That deputy, Adele claimed, had visited her regularly at the farm store, bringing an extra shotgun, a double-barrel 12-gauge, to protect her. This matched the weapon used in her murder. When Adele learned the deputy was married, she tried to end the relationship. According to her friend, Adele had expressed fear of the man. She had even mentioned that he had told her about his wife's death and how they had struggled over a gun before it went off. Greer was the only deputy whose wife had died under such circumstances. The farm store was also located in his regular patrol zone. Despite these suspicions, no concrete evidence surfaced to connect Greer to Adele's murder. Not yet. By 1986, forensic technology had improved, and investigators revisited Jackie Greer's death. Blood splatter analysis revealed inconsistencies in Greer's account. He claimed Jackie had shot herself inside a closet with the door closed, but blood patterns proved the door had been open. Still, even with this revelation, there wasn't enough to bring charges against him. The case took a significant turn in 2016 when detectives posted about Adele's murder on the Charlotte County Sheriff's Cold Case website. They disclosed details about the possible involvement of a law enforcement officer, hoping to encourage witnesses to come forward. This tactic worked. A former sheriff's office explorer contacted investigators with chilling accusations. She revealed that Greer had sexually assaulted her multiple times and threatened her life. During one assault, Greer reportedly said, "Ask those dead bitches like Adele Easterly what happens when they say no to me." The explorer's testimony didn't end there. She recalled seeing Greer on the night of Adele's murder. He had entered the sheriff's office through an unusual entrance, carrying what appeared to be a long gun. His disheveled appearance and behavior suggested he had just come from a violent encounter. She even noticed what might have been blood on his hand. Years of investigation culminated in 2023, when cold case detectives traveled to Kingsport, Tennessee, where Greer was living in a care facility. Bedridden and nearing the end of his life, Greer was interviewed one final time. When asked directly if he had killed Adele Easterly and his wife Jackie, Greer admitted to both crimes. However, he offered no clarity about whether Jackie's death was intentional or accidental. On March 2, 2024, John Greer died at the age of 77. He never faced justice for his crimes, leaving behind a legacy of pain and unanswered questions. The revelations about Greer have left a stain on the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Bill Promell expressed his anger and sorrow over the case, stating, "This individual does not represent the overwhelmingly great men and women who have worked for this agency. I am angry at the scar he has left on our reputation, but I am even more upset about the people he hurt through his vile actions." The Cold Case Unit continues investigating Greer's past, searching for other possible victims. To date, no additional crimes have been definitively linked to him. This story is a chilling reminder that sometimes the greatest dangers come from those we trust the most. Greer's crimes were not just murders. They were betrayals of Adele, of Jackie, of the community, and of the badge he wore. They remind us of the importance of holding people accountable, regardless of their position. Adele Easterly's life was cut short in an act of unimaginable violence. She was more than a victim. She was a daughter, a friend, and a young woman with dreams and fears. Her story deserves to be told, not just as a cautionary tale, but as a call to action. We must remember Adele and Jackie, ensuring their names are not forgotten, even as we work to prevent such tragedies in the future. Stay vigilant, stay aware. This world can be crazy, but together, we can shine a light on its darkest corners. That's why we're here. Thank you for joining us.